If your nib's too slow and your ink won't flow, here's one of the places that you can go. Larry is here to help you through with Mr. Announcer and Cubby too. It's Larry's Fountain Pen Reviews.
Hey, Larry here. How's everybody doing? And welcome back to my channel. I'm going to talk a little bit about Jim Hinze. He's the custom pen maker here in Texas. I believe he's what, in Plano or Richardson? Richardson now? Okay. Jim makes some rather unique fountain pens where he makes them one at a time. He doesn't have any kind of conveyor belts or people working on a line and there's 2 or 3 persons adding on to the pen. Jim actually makes each pen by hand. So if you decide to order a pen from Mr. Hinze, you need to give him some time because it could take anywhere. It just depends how busy he is. Anywhere from a month up to 6 months. I can't really put a true number on it because it's hard to say when Jim is busy and not so busy because he has to get ready for pen shows. Even though we have the virus going on, he still has orders that he's been filling, so he still is keeping very busy, and that's a good sign. Anytime a pen maker is busy, that means that they're putting out some great work and people want to get their hands on a custom-made pen. If you ever own a custom-made pen, they're totally different than other pens. They're all different. They're unique. They got their own style, their own personality, really. And Jim can even duplicate a pen that you want, do a clone rather, because he's done that for me. So I want to bring some of these pens back to reintroduce to those all new subscribers that are on my channel now, and for people out there that are watching that have or has not heard of Jim Hinze pens. Let me introduce you a little bit and give you a little walkthrough of some of his pens. I'll give you the name of the pen and the dimensions, and then I'll do a writing sample for you and a pen comparison. Cool? So let's get busy and start this journey. Are you ready? Kick it back, relax, grab your popcorn, hot dog, have a drink ready, coffee, whatever your thing is, and let's do this. On a serious note, it's time for the Blue Storm. That was one of the first to come out of Mr. Hinze shop. Stunning resin, beautiful fountain pen. And we'll just put it right down here and focus on the pen. Now, the pen, as you see it capped, looking at my notes, it's going to be 5.66 inches. Okay, just like you see it there. So the widest point of the cap is going to be about right in here, and that's going to come in 0.61 inches. And the widest point of the barrel about in here is going to be 0.58 inches. And it unscrews, and it does post securely for those who like to post their pens. And the pen total weight is going to be 21.7 G's. Not a heavy pen, but not a light pen. It's kind of the in-between of the road, but a very nice feel in the hand. And when you post the pin, it's 6.57 inches. And as you go down the barrel, there's a slight little step off right here where the cap hooks on to the threads right here. But there's nothing that's sharp or annoying that's going to be annoying to your fingers. It has a decent grip section, not a huge grip section, but not a small grip section. I have small fingers and it fits fine. Now, Mr. Announcer, would you mind holding the pen? And how does it feel? Because Mr. Announcer has gorilla hands.
It's very decent. The grip is large enough for me to feel like I've got control over it, and it's heavy enough for me. It's not overly heavy, but I can feel it, so that I could even do this not posted.
Yeah, and so I would write these notes down. I use it unposted. Sometimes I do get a notion or a hair and I will post it, but usually unposted. And when you screw off the barrel, there is the converter. Jim always puts a converter on there. It's a Schmidt converter. It's a pull out, push in. So you're going to probably ask me about an eye drop. Well, this probably can be an eye drop if you put some silicone grease on it. So this pen comes with a clip. Jim makes them with or without clip. For me, I prefer a clip on my pens because I like to put them on my shirt and take off with it. When it doesn't have a clip, you know, I have to put it in the pen case, and then I have to worry about, will I accidentally hit the pen and roll off the table. Even with the little pen stop that Jim makes, you can have that put on as well, and that helps it from not to roll off. But me, I'm strictly a fan of the clip. Do I have pens without clips? Yeah, I do. Do I use them? Yes, I do. More at home, I would say. But if I do take them out with me, they have to be in the pen case and have to be very, very extra careful not to knock them off the table. So, very nice colors. You can see there's blue in there. Like that blue really looks really great. Looks like blue and some grays and what blacks and whites in there. Just really just a stunning, beautiful, handmade fountain pen. You go down the barrel, and at the end, it's a solid, really beautiful blue on the very end of the barrel. I like that. So, and this one has a gold nib in it, and it's a extra fine nib. And let me see, 14K 585, and with the Hinze logo on the pen, really nicely done, beautiful, stunning gold nib, and the nib is superb on this pen, and I'll do a writing sample here shortly. Let's talk about the next one, the Beacon 2. I don't have the Beacon 1. I don't even think I may have done a review on the Beacon 1, I'm not sure. But this is the latest, the Beacon 2. This has gold and purple and silver and white and maybe a little black, looks like. Beautiful swirls throughout the pen, throughout the cap and the barrel. Very nicely done by Jim. He took a lot of work and a lot of pride goes into his pens that he makes. Very nicely made pen. In the clip, got a gold clip with that little roll ball on it, which I like the clip again. the top is flat, and down to the end of the barrel, I'll do like that purple on the end color, and it kind of thins out here. And the dimensions of the pen, the length of the pen as you see it here, 5.78 inches. And the cap, the widest point of the cap about in here is going to be 0.62 inches. And the widest point of the barrel is going to be right in here, about 0.58 inches. The weight of the pen, as it says, is 23.1 G's. Unscrew the cap, and it does post securely. Looks a little long, might be kind of odd looking, so I don't post this pen at all. I just use it and unpost it. It fits perfect in my hand. So if you have big hands, big old chunky hands, it's going to work perfect in your hand, a perfect fit, because the barrel is long enough to fit large hands. So as we go down the barrel, again, just a slight step off, and where the cap goes on, the screw cap fits onto the barrel. Not annoying. The grip section, medium grip section, that it will accommodate small, medium, large hands. So not a problem there. Again, when you post this pen, it's going to be 7.06 inches. Untwist the barrel, and it has a Schmidt converter in it, and it's pull out, push in. On the beacon too, I have a beautiful, stunning, extra fine Jowo gold nib on it, and has a Hinze logo on it, very nicely done. Superb, extra fine nib. Now, I'm not sure if I said this or not on this one, but this one has the medium gold nib, 14K Jowo gold nib, both number 6 nibs. Excellent nibs. I really have been really satisfied and happy with these nibs. To me, that's the most important part. How will that nib write? I don't like scratchy nibs. I don't like dry nibs. I don't like boring nibs. I'm very picky when it comes to nibs, but that's okay. That's me. And Jim does, like I said, a excellent job with the nibs. Super pens. Now here comes a really cool, kind of different pen. I've been wanting, okay, I'm a big Yafa fan, and I like Conklin All-American pens. And I like the Conklin Duragraphs. Beautiful, stunning lapis pen here. There's nothing I don't like about this pen. The only thing I wish I had later, I may just put a gold nib in it. I love it. I love everything about this pen. For me, it just pops. So, I wanted something like this, but not exactly like it. Just a little bit different. So I asked Jim, could he make me almost a clone of this, which he can, and he did. So here comes this black stunning pen, and I believe this pen is out of ebonite. And he put this stunning black clip on it to match it. And I named it the Paladin. Why is that? Well, as weird as it may sound, is that I always have loved the Westerns back in the 50s called Paladin with Richard Boone. Played Half Gun Will Travel in that series, and he was Paladin. He had the knight on the holster. So This reminds me of Paladin. The black hat, the black pants. I'm sorry, the black shirt, the black pants, the black hat. So Jim made it, and the dimensions of this pen, the length of the pen cap is 5.77 inches. And it does post securely with a twist off cap. And that looks nice. Could be a little long to people, so I don't post it. And that fits nicely in the hand, but if you have large hands and you want to post it, you could. Not a problem. So when you post it, it's going to post in at 7.01 inches. The barrel, the widest point, let's go to the cap. The widest point of the cap is going to be 0.66 inches. And the widest point of the barrel is going to be 0.60 inches. Beautiful. Stunning fountain pen. The weight of this pen, 24.5 G's. So again, yeah, the Blue Storm coming in at 21.7 G's as weight. 23.1 G's on the Beacon 2 as weight, and on the Paladin 24.5 G's as weight. On the length of the pens again, we're going to go Blue Storm 5.66 inches cap, Beacon 2 5.78 inches cap, Paladin 5.77 inches cap. We'll go ahead and do the length of the pen again. When you post it, it's going to be posted at 6.57 inches on the Blue Storm, 7.06 inches on the Beacon, and the Paladin's going to come in at 7.01 inches. So let's just go ahead and post them and show you the nibs, and we'll get a nice close-up shot of that. I'm real proud of these nibs. I'm real proud of these fountain pens. Get them all situated there so we can see the nibs. This is your regular steel nib, number 6 Jovo nib here. And get all these things straightened. Okay. Bam, bam, and bam. Beautiful pens. Okay, now I'm just going to put a couple of pens up next to them just to show you a size comparison. Here is the Conklin All-American, and the Blue Storm is a little bit longer than that, and the Beacon 2 as well, just a tad longer. Let's bring my old buddy Paladin here. Right here, my friends. And it's a just about as long. Almost. Because the Paladin fully capped is 5.77 inches. And the All-American is just around there. Maybe a tad shorter. And just for the fun of it, the Conklin Durograph is a tad shorter than the Beacon 2. A tad shorter than the Blue Storm. and a little bit shorter, not a tad, but just maybe more than just a little bit shorter than the Paladin, as you can plainly see there. Let me stand them up for you. Here's the Conklin Durograph, and here's the Paladin. So, what I want to do next is a writing sample, and I'm going to go ahead and use my endless recorder, which has the Tomo River paper in here, 64 G's in here, and go ahead and use that, and we'll have some fun with this. You know, I'm just getting my notes so I can remember the ink. So let's go ahead and start off with number uno. And this is going to be the Beacon 2. Your Hinze Beacon 2, 14K gold nib, extra fine. And I'm using the Mont Blanc. Purple, the Beetle Psychedelic Purple ink. Now we'll do some writing. And we'll do a few little swirls. It's got great ink flow, nice, smooth, wet, juicy nib. Let's see how it does in reverse. And you have no problems. Right here where you see, that was me taking the nib off paper. Wetness, this is extra fine, and it does have a nice wetness to it, and I'm totally satisfied with this pen. Okay, the Blue Storm is up next. And this has a 14K medium nib. And the ink I'm using is the Paladin Kujaku ink. And we'll just do some wet test here, and it's nice and wet and smooth. Now for some writing. Here's some swirls. Now some reverse writing here. And you get a little bit. And you get some. And you know, this would be like an extra fine. Beautiful nib, beautiful rider, wet, smooth. I'm happy with it, no complaints. Last but not least, my beautiful Paladin. To me, it's stunning. Others may look at it and say, just a black looking pen. Nah, it's more than that. This is a work of art. This is a beauty in my eyes. Each one of us has our own image we create within our head about the pens that we use. And this is just, to me, just a perfect image of what I call Paladin. Sounds weird? What the heck? We'll just take off the cap and we'll put little bitty Paladin down there. And let's get to writing here. I'm getting off the table, so here we go. And this is just a steel nib. And they're all number 6 size Jovo nibs. And the ink I'm using and we'll do the wet on it. Really nice. As you can see, again, the nib is nice and wet, smooth, beautiful nib, lovely pen. I really love my pens. And we'll do some writing, folks. And we'll do some swirls. As you can see, got some great ink flow. No problems with any one of these nibs. Reverse writing. And this one doesn't really get any much out of that. So no reverse writing on this one. So there you have it. That's my review on some of the Jim Hinze pens that I do own. I owned a few more. I'm not trying to sell Hinze pens. Hinze pens sell for themselves. Once you get a hold of a Hinze pen, then you're going to say, Larry was so correct about how nicely made these pens are, how comfortable they fit in the hand, how nice is this nib. And again, you'll say, Larry was correct, smooth and wet. For those who may not know Hinze well, he's very particular about his work because his name is on this pen. It represents Hinze pens. So he wants to make sure that you're getting quality. And that's why, for one main reason, he makes them one by one. He's not in for quantity, he's in for quality. So, if you haven't been to Jim's website, he's got a bunch of new, nice, cool-looking fountain pens on there. You might want to check that out. Where did they go for that, Mr. Announcer?
HinzePens.com.
Okay, and I'll be soon having Mr. Hinze doing an interview this week. So you want to keep an eye open for that. That's going to be interesting. So I guess that's going to wrap this one up today. So my friends, I'm going to leave it at that. I hope you found this review interesting. I hope there was enough information for you on these pens. Make sure you keep safe, wash those hands. And as always, a lot of peace and a lot of love. And please, don't text and drive. Don't do this. And you're driving, don't do that. Nah. Later. And before you go, one last look at these beautiful fountain pens.